This man's name is Casey. I'm at the jewelry store. Gift options for a wife named Namiko. Pregnant at home. But the cash in hand and the new necklace, that caught the attention of two thugs in the back. In an empty street, Casey was blocked by the thugs. I want to get back to my wife quickly. Casey paid the money in his pocket, but the two thugs didn't let go. He threatened Casey with a knife. You have to bring the chain you just bought. This act was beyond Casey's remorse. So you used the cloth wrapped in the chain plunged into the fight. The thugs attacked Casey with knives, but to confront them is a true martial artist. After a while of fighting, Casey did not spend too much effort to steal the knife. Successfully subdued to thugs. Casey doesn't want to do that. Throw the knife on the ground and leave. Casey came home wearing a new necklace on his wife's neck. Then go to the grocery store and buy snacks. But when you get home, I found out my wife was murdered. There's an X-shaped wound on his neck. When the pain goes away, Casey chose to go to the police. But after a series of recruitment measures, the police concluded that this was a break-in, usual robbery, and no further investigation. Casey knows it's not that simple. After the funeral for his wife, he will personally seek revenge. At the funeral, Casey's longtime best friend is Nakabara. He also flew from Thailand to the funeral. I want Casey to forget the pain of losing his wife. Nakabara invited Nam to come with me to Thailand. The first goal is to ask Casey to help manage the second is that it can help the male-led relax the mood. But after listening, Casey refused. You have to avenge your dead wife. Early the next morning, Casey went to a dojo. Because I think again and again, I still feel he's the #1 suspect in your wife's murder. That's based on the day of the fight. They use it. Casey speculates that Rod must be martial arts. The birth of this dojo. So I didn't come here for revenge. The head of the dojo. See the Korean eyes of Casey came too. The cause of this is to scold even without respect. But after a tough fight, Casey defeated all the students in the dojo. I can't see the shadow of that thug. So he grabbed the head, asking him the names of the two men. At midnight, two thugs are going home. The tree suddenly came out of the dark, facing the killer who killed his wife. This time, Casey wasn't solved. You are very cruel. Every move is a fatal blow. Blinking eyes. The two opponents went to heaven one by one. Casey is no longer attached to this land of sorrow. So I went to Thailand alone. Find Nakabara, who is the owner of the dojo Nakabara, because he wanted to show students the power. So I started a martial arts competition. The result is not known. The hero uses his superhuman power. Beat all the students here. But in the heart of Casey, I haven't forgotten Namiko since. I almost accidentally injured a student just now. So Casey's in a bad mood. Go to the bar alone for fun. But now a thug. I accidentally spilled a glass of wine. They don't stop provoking with words. This time the main male does not want his head on the table and then give it a fatal kick. But did not expect. The gangsters gang in the bar is crowded. They immediately rushed to your counsel. But Casey was very calm, taking them down one by one. Then they switched to stuff. They use everything in the bar can be used. Rush into Casey attack. But even so, they're not your opponents either. Let them measure the floor. Casey, calm drink. Just another bottle of beer and the next day I woke up and went to the garden. But when you wake up, your head hurts extremely annoying. That's what a student nearby saw. He said he could help. At the same time, go to Casey to rest. Not long after. And in the garden came the bad news. The man who helped Nam pick the fruit was killed by him until Casey flew to the scene. The student is out of breath. On your neck, we've left an X-shaped wound like exactly of Namiko. Turns out the real unsub wasn't to thugs. Very fast. The police arrived and took the body away. Casey came to see Nakabara soon after. Tell him what's in your heart. And Nakabara told me an old story. Drifting into the past. It turns out that many years ago, Casey's father-in-law and Nakabara's father with their brother. He's the best martial artist in the dojo. Later, Nakabara's father joined the 5th Army to turn the power on. So there are only 2 people left. Casey's father-in-law and his brother dispute over the position of head of the dojo. Casey's father-in-law accidentally beat his brother to death. People in my family, without God is with the people of the family. Many years have passed. My younger brother named Goro still wants revenge. He has a cruel disposition. Cruel tricks. He's now a ghost dealer. Notorious drugs in Burma. The weapon he's best at using. It's a long rope. It's shaped like barbed wire. The victim was killed. On the neck often leaves very deep marks. It has an X shape. Nakabara speculation. The recent serial murder cases. Maybe it was the Goro who caused it. To avenge his brother. Finish talking. Nakabara advised Casey to leave Thailand avoid self-harm to the body. But the few that killed Seo's wife may not report. At that time, Casey made up his mind. I will definitely kill this Goro. Do Nakabara still have to stay in Thailand to coordinate with the police to investigate the student's case? So Nam decided to go to Burma to meet that Goro. Before we start, Nakabara told Casey that his father once hid a precious black Japanese sword in the rainforest of Burma. If necessary, it can be based on instructions this map dug up to use. The next day, Casey took a plane to a bar, disguised as a drug addict who wants to buy drugs. We'll find out where the Goro is. But I guess I just finished. He's surrounded by a bunch of junkies in front of a crowd like this. Casey doesn't say much. Only a few simple tricks have been defeated. Man caught a thug. One of them forced him to say, "Go to Goro's lair." But this guy doesn't know where Goro is. Only received orders that if anyone comes here to ask about Goro, no need to ask why. Casey knows there is nothing to ask. So the hero left there. After returning to the hotel to rest in a dream, I heard a strange noise outside the door. Casey can't get dressed for flying. A Burmese policeman standing behind a wooden door and escape in a spectacular way. See how Goro bribed the police here. That night, Casey stole into the police station. After beating down the doorman, he stormed into the sheriff's office. Casey directly picked up the police chief on the floor. After a barbaric torture, the police chief set out Goro's hiding place. Casey killed him and walked away. Then hire a small wooden boat. Go to the direction of the Goro's. I don't know how long to go in the rainforest. That night, Casey ran into a gang of bandits with guns. When they are not careful, they out of the cold bush broke a guy's neck. The second one is controlled by you. And then you've got to kill the third guy. The fourth guy saw that and kept shooting at you. But I can quickly dodge. You were finally caught by him. At the moment of birth, Casey's faster than flying a knife straight into his chest before he could fire. And then Casey kept moving forward. According to the directions of the map, finally discovered raw equip that Nakabara's left in a dry forest. After everything is ready, Casey thought it was dark to launch a full-scale attack. The tree jumps from above to below. He killed him in with a Japanese sword. The bandits are patrolling. Then throw yourself. Goro's men were seriously injured. My voice explodes also attracted the attention of Goro. And his most powerful subordinate is you. Not long after, you came to me with a short knife. His moves are flexible. It's very dangerous. Casey was defeated and lost all advantage. After a while, there was the black cloth on the South's face was pulled by the eyelash. Skewer's flying feet. After the test and the round, Casey has come to understand your technique. So you took the chance to catch his hand. A break caused the knife to fall to the ground. Then give another 360-degree kickstand. He tried to get up to fight again, but Casey picked up the knife and stabbed it in the leg. Finally, Casey is no longer in love. That pierced through the opponent's chest. Casey went straight to Goro's room. His eyes are full of hatred. He looked at Goro sitting in front of him. Casey said, "Your brother's daughter is my wife." But Goro just coldly replied. It turns out that Namiko was married to a junkie. Casey ran to beat him up. Casey's long sword against the barbed wire. Casey's take advantage of the weakness of barbed wire. He bent over and slashed Goro in the stomach. But Goro wasn't hurt. He picked up the Japanese sword from the ground. Face to face with Casey. The key moment, Goro swung the barbed wire wrapped around Casey's neck. Fortunately, he reacted quickly with his sword. This death. Casey used all his strength to get out front. He was not lightly injured. I can't stand up for a long time, and Casey didn't hesitate. Take out the sword and cut off Goro's after the revenge is over. The male lead returned to the Nakabara dojo. I told Nakabara to hear about his perilous journey of revenge. Results while talking. A freight boy attracted the attention of Casey. I found a short knife on his waist. On the blade, there is the exact same pattern on the knives of the two thugs you killed. This detail caused Casey to fall into meditation. Maybe those thugs were sent by Nakabara. So the mastermind behind this whole thing, not the person sitting in front of you. Under the crucible of Casey, Nakabara also set out the truth. On the surface, he's the owner of a dojo. But in fact, we're dealing in banned substances. He's always been a close partner with drug lord Goro. But in recent times, Goro is constantly raising drug prices. That causes the profits that Nakabara seriously affected his business. So in the shallow minutes, Nakabara orchestrated this revenge plan himself. He first went to Japan in person. He used a homemade barbed wire to kill his wife. Then tricked me into going to Thailand. Then used the same trick to kill a student. Next, tempting Casey to find the conservative just like Goro. That, we can be a good fisherman without any effort. Heard the whole story. Casey knows he cheated on her again. It turns out that the enemy who killed his wife, Casey was always right next to him. Pick up the warm scrub on the table and bang towards the sheer indignation that made Casey's reach the top. We use one foot to kick the Nakabara and fly to the next room. Casey is angry like a beast. I dare not ignore the enemy anymore. He threw a kick that made Casey spin in the air and hit the ground. Then he's holding a Japanese sword and slashing forward. Casey uses a long stick. Nakabara slashed Casey's stick in half. Your weapon turned into 2 short sticks. Then they moved on to the next Japanese
Continue
sword.
to cut each
Nakabara
other.
is also handy hand throws daggers at Finally, Casey's shoulder. Withstands painful draw. Looking up at the barbed wire, his homemade is hanging on the shelf. In front of me. So I tried to get up and grab the steel wire. Swinging the rope tightly around Nakabara's neck. It's like he killed your wife that day. He used the same method to end his life. Today's movie is over. This movie is called The Revenge Ninja. Question of this period. The 2 warriors of Japan are the ninja and the samurai. Which warrior do you prefer? Choose ninja in favor of skill and airbending. Select samurai for power and armor press 2. Thank you for watching all of our videos. Hello and see you later.